My M27 girlfriend, F27, was excited when talking about her friend's hookup huge D. So, for how silly and funny this sounds like, let me understand if I'm overreacting or not. My M27 girlfriend, F27, was telling me about her friend's hookup, and when she started going down into the details I stated that I was not very interested in hearing the rest of the story. However, she went on and apparently mentioned that this guy has a huge heavy weapon down there and that when she will meet him, if the story between him and the friend goes on, she can't help but looking down on him with this shocked face, because now she know that detail. Now, to me seems a little bit weird that my girlfriend states all excited that that guy has a big D and she already knows that she will look down at him because she knows that, but telling that to me was a little bit passing the line. I told her that I found that very unpleasant to hear and disrespectful, and she started crying saying that she was silly, she didn't mean that, she didn't mean to denigrate me blah blah blah. I asked her to leave my place since I wanted some time alone. Am I honestly overreacting? She sounds like a 14-year-old boy and a very disrespectful person. If you were to tell her about the super tight pussy and giant tits on your buddy's girlfriend, you would have a different set of responses. I agree that what your girlfriend said was weird and you're completely fair being uncomfortable. But I also wanted to highlight the fact that if your girlfriend's friends tell her these sort of intimate details about their partners, and she treats that information sharing with the level of nonchalance displayed here, it's very likely that she's also sharing intimate details about you with her friends. People who are happy to hear that stuff are usually happy to share as well. Just something to consider. What's with people sharing intimate details of their sex lives with friends? Face vomiting. Nah bro, that's a weird move on her part. I think you feel weird because that's how she wanted you to feel. There are too many fish in the sea to be staying with a fish that is disrespectful, inconsiderate of your feeling. Yeah, she was disrespectful and aggressively childish. When you told her you did not want to hear any more details about her friend's hookup, she should have stopped. Instead, she decided to double down and go into explicit details about his penis and how she won't be able to help but fixate on his crotch area if she meets him in person. And this is coming from the mouth of a grown-ass 27-years-old woman when you expect it from high school girls. Jeesh. He, 36 male, asked me, 34 female, to put on read receipts. I've been talking to him for a few days, haven't even met yet. We're having our first date tomorrow. Been talking, calls, featuring, texts, every day. Today he asked when I was going to turn on my read receipts. He said he'd been patient enough, followed by rot FL emojis. I feel like this is an invasion of my personal space. Sometimes I look at a text and forget to answer. Sometimes I see a text and just don't feel like answering. I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong if I don't answer someone's text. And I don't want to feel like I'm being watched. Any advice is appreciated. Nope. Next. You've only been chatting for 3 days. You haven't even met him and he's already asking to monitor y'all's communication. He's been patient enough? Ick. I'd like to know why he thinks this is necessary. Huge red flag. I'd tell him never. I'm a fairly private person and if that's a problem we probably shouldn't meet. I'm not trying to make him wait for anything, or exercise patience, we're maybe just incompatible. Oh look. He's controlling you already. Ew. You have not even met him in person yet and he is assigning you rules of behavior, followed by the good lol, that absolutely does not have even a smidge of actual humor behind it. This guy is showing you his creepy. Believe it. Cancel the date. When he messages back, turn on your read receipts just that time and leave him on read. Think you need to use block function instead. My 25 meters fiancé, 24F, just ended a 7+ year relationship. 25 meters, came home today to see my then fiancé, 24F, sitting oddly in the living room. When I walk in she says, "We need to talk. I don't think it's anything about us, but soon find out it is." She says she has caught feelings for someone else. She refuses to say who, but insists it's no one I know. I find that hard to believe because I know everyone she knows. I ask her if she's been talking to this man in a romantic way. She said only in a platonical way, so that confused me even more. Why would she throw away our 7+ year relationship for something that's still platonical? One way or another she's lying to me. Up until this moment we have had a near-perfect relationship and even earlier today she was completely normal with me. I've been completely blindsided. I feel so unbelievably hurt, confused, angry, sad and 1,000 other emotions. And what hurts the most is the person I want to talk to about this is the one that's made me feel this way. Last year I lost two of the most important women in my life. My mum lost her battle with cancer and my grandmother, Mum's mum, died 2 months after suddenly. They both loved my partner, and I promised them that I would marry her. About 6 months after their deaths I proposed and she said yes and was my rock during the grieving process. Should mention we spoke about marriage a lot before anyone passed. And now I feel like everything is crumbling around me. I find it hard to cry, I really do try. But right now it feels like all that pain is falling on me again, but this time my support is the one that's adding all the weight. I'm so lost and confused. I really just needed to rant a bit because I find it hard to be fully honest with people that aren't faceless. No offense. I just want this all to be over and have it never happened. You have been together since she was 16-17. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if she did catch feelings for someone who they're completely platonic with each other for the time being. Usually you're a bit immature in your first relationships. Not a criticism. You need to learn somehow. So, just having feelings for someone else would be enough for her to lose feelings for you. Regardless, she doesn't want to be with you. Even if she doesn't end up with the new guy. She's realized who she liked at 17 isn't who she wants to be with when she's 27. It happens. It sucks, absolutely, but it's a normal part of growing up. She may be lying but she may not, but that doesn't matter. What matters is moving on and not leaving the door open to get back together, because you're just gonna be miserable. We all gone through heartbreak and it sucks. I'd use those negative emotions productively. Hit the gym, go on runs, spend more time on your hobbies, hang out with your friend and maybe take on a new interest. You have your whole life ahead of you, lad, and I'm certain you will someone to share the future with in due time. I'm really sorry this happened to you. There is a good side to this, and that is she did this before you two got married. And no children. You need to do all the classic cliché things right now. Work on yourself. Hit the gym, go biking and running. Do not drink. Talk with friends about it. Cry some and shake yourself up and say to yourself that you are young and have your entire life ahead of you. All that really does help. I know it does. Best to you and hugs from an internet and faceless stranger. While it sucks, be glad it happened before a wedding and kids. You are now free to focus on yourself. Ask her for the ring back if you gave her one. Technically she's engaged in infidelity and that's grounds to get the ring back. Couple of quick ones. It's entirely possible to catch feelings whilst being platonic. So she might not be lying. And going through a grieving process and being someone's rock is tough. My best mate was about to end his relationship when her dad suddenly died. Spent another 2 years together, both miserable, as he tried to support her. It's possible that she's just been waiting for the right time to end it and never found one. It absolutely sucks, I feel for you. But take your time, don't do anything rash, and treat her with empathy throughout this, as there's no surer way to make someone feel like they wasted 7 years than making the last month hell. F33. Think my husband, M38, is cheating on me. I want to know what you think, and before I start I just want to clarify that English is not my first language, so please be nice about it. November 2022 I found a bag of condoms in the backpack he takes with him to work. We never use condoms, never in 7 years of marriage, and even before we got married I was the one taking contraceptives because he couldn't stay hard with condoms. He said it was a surprise, and he planned to use them in our anniversary, like 20 condoms in one night? No, he went to the pharmacy to buy just 2, but the clerk offered him a big pack that was on discount and he was too shy to say no. Also, when? He works all day and how? We are struggling to make ends meet. He obviously doesn't have any money left to spend on someone else. I'll be honest, I chose to believe him and did my mental work to convince myself to believe this crazy story was right. Our anniversary came and we used one of those 20 condoms. He told me to save them and they have been in a drawer ever since. He never asked and we never used them. Last Saturday we were having breakfast with our kids and I asked him for his cell phone to send an audio message from my kids to his mom. Just to be clear, I do not go through his phone ever. He likes his privacy and I respect that, so I don't go through his Me Too, but when I went to type an emoji I saw the last 3 emojis he had were the peach emoji, the eggplant emoji and the heart eyes emoji. I checked. He hasn't used those emojis with me in weeks. I came down to when and how, and I just didn't want to deal with it. But last night I couldn't keep it anymore and asked him about the emojis and the condoms and he said, "Prove it, I've been crying ever since." I just want to know if everyone sees what I see, those excuses. I don't know how to end this and I have to go and feed my kids, but I just can't get up or stop crying. November 2022 I found a bag of condoms in the backpack he takes with him to work. We never use condoms, never in 7 years of marriage, and even before we got married I was the one taking contraceptives because he couldn't stay hard with condoms. This is all you had to say. He is cheating. The fact that he didn't deny it and told you to prove it is proof in itself that he has cheated. He believes that he's hidden it so well that you can't prove it. LMFAO, you can't honestly think he is not having an affair, can you? Also, who the fuck goes, surprise. For our 7-year anniversary, I have decided to fuck you. But with a condom _on_. Normally the treat is no condom since most people think sex feels better that way. You don't have to prove anything. You know in your heart he is cheating and now you have a big decision to make. You need to find a good lawyer and talk to people you trust about what is going on. Girl, the condoms in his work bag and his excuse should have been enough confirmation that he's cheating. Now you know this affair been going on for months and it's probably a coworker.